This writing vlog is going to be all about locking in. And I'm actually going to be locking in many areas of my life, not just the writing. I have 3 days until the movers come with all my furniture, thank goodness. So I'm basically in the same situation I was in the last vlog. I'm waiting for a few days for movers to come, so I don't really have anything really pressing to do except focus on what is important for me. So first and foremost, I'm going to be locking in on my writing. I have not been very productive over the last few months, and I truly believe it's because of the move. I've been distracted. I haven't had lots of time to really work on the writing. I was pretty productive in the last vlog. I had to take a few days break, and now I'm back. I'm ready to be productive, and I am locking in so that after the movers come with my furniture and I've had a few days to unpack, I can really start focusing on writing. I have a few activities planned along with writing for this vlog that I'll talk about a little bit later that will help set me up for success when it's time to really focus on my book, probably later next week. I'm also going to be locking in on this apartment. Because the movers are coming in 3 days, I need to get this place spotless. I want to do a deep clean, like the floors and stuff, before they put furniture and rugs and stuff down, just so it's all clean. And then I also need to organize. Because I moved up here with a car full of stuff, I have things strewn everywhere throughout this apartment, especially in the rooms, because I don't have furniture to put like my clothes in, and I don't have furniture to put like office supplies and papers and stuff like that. And I don't even have a linen closet here, so a lot of my bathroom stuff is just laying on the floor in a bedroom until I can get my storage shelves. It's very messy. And again, for the movers to come here, I need to get everything off the floor so they have room to put boxes. And then I also want to organize it in a way that once I get the furniture in, I can easily put things away and organized and not like wonder where everything is. So that's gonna be the second thing I focus on for the next few days. And the third is actually ballet. I have a ballet intensive in 2 weeks, and I have not been dancing very much because of the move. I've just missed class because I'm either traveling or too busy doing something related to the move. So physically, I am not in the best condition for this intensive, and I really want to prepare myself, like strengthen my feet especially, and increase my endurance, because for those that aren't familiar with ballet and what an intensive is, it's like a really intense ballet class. Typically ballet classes are like 1.5 hours. If you want to add a point class after that, it's another half hour to hour. An intensive is like an all-day thing. So I will be in class for like 5 or 6 hours every day. Not only do you have class and you do a special point class, but you do strength and conditioning, and you do variations, which is learning a solo of a ballet. And I'm looking forward to this year again. I've done this particular intensive for I think 4 years now, or this is the 4th year. I can't remember when it started. But anyway, long story short, I was rambling about ballet, but I love it and I'm passionate about ballet, so there you go. I have 3 things I want to focus on: my flexibility, my strength, and my point, because I haven't been doing point very much. For today, it's gonna be a little bit of a let's see what happens kind of day. I had a plan last night, so I typically plan my day the night before. And that plan was revolving around the fact that it was going to rain for like the afternoon and a little bit of the morning. I woke up this morning and the weather forecast changed, so no rain. I'm looking outside and it's very cloudy and looks like it still might rain. So I'm not really sure what I need to do today. One thing I've learned living in New England is that if the weather is nice, you need to take advantage of it because it could rain for days. So I kind of want to see what the weather is like after lunch. It is late morning. I got a late start today because I slept in. I needed it. So it wasn't me being lazy or anything. What I plan to do this morning is one of these little tasks I mentioned earlier. I want to make a record of every person and every place I mention in my book. In the past, I've struggled a little bit with remembering what I named people or places, and it's starting to really bother me. Where I am in the novel, I'm like 3/4 of the way done, so I'm starting to bring back people, places. I'm starting to invent new places, people. I either don't remember what I named something, or I'm coming up with a name and knowing I won't remember it later. It's really annoying me That's happened over the last few days of writing. It has been, I've named someone or something, and I just know I'm like, I'm gonna need that later, and I don't have this written anywhere, and I'm not gonna remember what I named this person or place. So I wanna build this out, probably just an Excel sheet is fine for now, and have this recorded. So that way I remember, and I can have a place where I'm like, what did I name that person? And I can go look it up. That's just something to help make it easier for me moving forward. I also think it will help my revision when it's time to revise this first draft, just so that all the information will be in one place. So if I messed up throughout the draft, like if I renamed something or didn't, or I forgot to name something, whatever, I can add it. I'm gonna do that, grab some lunch, and then I'm not sure what I'm gonna do after lunch. I need to edit a YouTube video. I need to do laundry. I need to clean a room. I've got a lot of things I need to do in a short amount of time today. But we're gonna see what happens, and I'll check in with you throughout the day. Well, I had a very productive day, busy day. I wouldn't say productive. I didn't really accomplish tons of things, but I did tons of things. This morning I finished my little, I don't know what to call it, a list of names and characters and places. I finished that list this morning. It's not really done. There's people that I don't remember in there that I will just have to fill it in when I get there. But it did help because as I was making the list, I was like, oh, I have to add this person, and I have to add that person, and I have to add this place. So it was really helpful for me to kind of like jog my memory and make this list that I definitely will use later on. So I did that in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I cleaned my bedroom. That took some time, but I'm glad that's done for the movers. It's ready for the boxes and the furniture to go in there. And then I went for a walk. The weather ended up being really nice. The sun came out, the clouds went away, and it was beautiful out. So I went for a walk, and it ended up being like a 2-hour walk because I walked around, but then also visited some shops and did some vintage clothes shopping, which was fun. And by the time I got back, I needed to make dinner. I also did not feel like practicing ballet today. My feet were throbbing when I came home, and I did not think it was wise to do a full ballet class after that long of a walk and how my feet felt. So I just opted for some light stretching that served a purpose. That's one of the things I want to work on. So I was able to do that. I just finished dinner, and now I'm ready for what I'm doing this evening, which is working on YouTube and writing. I'm still working on this one YouTube video. It may not be the best, so it would be the video that comes out right before this one. My software keeps crashing, and I don't know what is going on. I've tried Googling it, and it just, I can't figure it out. But it's basically crashing like every 5 seconds. And it's making it a lot longer to get this video done, but I'm persevering. Unfortunately, like I can't really start over, well I could, but I don't want to because this started like halfway through my editing process, and I would have lost hours of work, and I did not feel like doing that. I do think there's a fix. I did see something on the internet that I'm gonna try for this video, but I cannot do it on something I've already started, so I'm just gonna have to power through. I'm gonna work on that for like 45 minutes, see how far I can get, and then I'm gonna write. And I'm only gonna write for like an hour, not a huge amount tonight, just because I don't have time and I'm gonna be interrupted a lot. I have to do laundry, which requires a lot of getting up and moving clothes around and hanging them up and folding them, and that's gonna take time away from writing, and it's gonna distract me because I physically have to get up. I don't wanna dedicate like 3 hours tonight because it'll just break my concentration. I think an hour is good for tonight. That just gives me enough time to do my daily writing kind of thing, and then I can really focus on writing tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started because I need to get some laundry going and start on this YouTube video. And then after I finish my writing, I will check back in with you and let you know how the writing went. writing for the night and I was pretty productive. I got, let me do the word count. I wrote 424 words in about an hour, so that's great. And that left me at 76,988 words. I am getting so close to the end of this book. I did work on YouTube for about an hour and then it started crashing like crazy again, so I stopped. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. I guess I'll figure that out tomorrow. As far as my writing goes, that went really, really well. I already used my little name list that I made this morning. I introduced a new character and wrote her in that Excel sheet that I made. So I was really glad I had it and that I would know the name of that character later on in the book if I need it. I'm starting to get to a point in the story where the pacing is picking up. So it's a little bit hard for me to do these shorter writing sessions because it did take me probably like 15 minutes to really find my groove and to get into it. And then in about 15 minutes after that, I had to stop and take care of the laundry. And then I came back and then I had to stop again. The stopping and starting really slowed down my flow a little bit. I was still productive in terms of word count, but I just don't like being interrupted. And I like to have like a really long time to focus on writing. So I will definitely do that tomorrow. I think that's my to-do list for tomorrow, is to really focus on writing. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I need to tend to some things. I wanna read, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning. I decided to do my fun thing this morning. I tried to do one fun thing for myself today, and it's something I want to do or I'm interested in doing, just to not stay in my apartment all the time. So for today, we are gonna go to a park near the ocean, which I'm excited about. I haven't been to the ocean since I've moved here. So I'm just looking. I'm not gonna be able to walk on a beach. There's no beach there, but I can sit on some rocks and look at the ocean. And I'm really excited about it. I love being near the ocean. It makes me happy. I just wanted to go there for a little bit today. Wonderful morning at the ocean. I love being at the water. It was very healing for me. I haven't seen or been that close to the ocean in quite a while, and I just sat there. Honestly, I was at that park for like an hour and I just sat on the rocks and watched the waves crash into the rocks and listened to the ocean, and it was wonderful. And I thought a little bit about my book while I was there. Got a little bit of inspiration, which is nice. I came back, I had lunch, I finished my YouTube video, and now I am ready to practice ballet. I haven't practiced ballet in almost a week. That was my last class. Then I will make dinner, and then I will spend the rest of the evening writing, and I cannot wait for that. I'm gonna have a nice chunk of 3 hours or so to write. It will be really nice. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening, and I will talk to you later tonight when I'm done with my writing. I'm done with my writing for the night. I had a really nice evening. I ended up mopping the kitchen floor first before I wrote, just because it needed to be done. So I didn't have as long of a time as I wanted to write, but that's okay. Tonight I wrote 459 words. That was about an hour and a half of writing. It's not like the best word count, but the reason being was I stopped kind of somewhere in the middle to do research. I was looking up some terminology and like how certain things work and trying to get a better understanding of some things for my book. I made progress with that. So even though it's not word counts, at least I kind of got a better idea of how to tell my story. I know I say this all the time, but I can't wait to get my furniture. It's in 2 more days and I can't wait because this is like also another reason why I stopped this early. It's only like 9:30. My back hurts. Like I'm hunched over the computer like this. I tried laying down, but it's like my head was really, bent forward with the pillow. So I just can't wait to get my furniture so I can be comfortable writing. Because like I said, I have to stop. I'm hurting. I need to lay flat and not like be typing and hunched over and stuff like that. So that's gonna be a wrap for tonight. Tomorrow will be interesting. I don't quite know yet how I'm going to do things. I have a medical appointment in the afternoon, which is going to throw a wrench in like my standard daily plans. And I wanted to go shopping a little bit in the morning for just stuff I need. And then I need to also put ballet and mopping the living room floor and writing in that day as well. So tomorrow's going to be interesting. I haven't planned it out yet. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. It is actually the early evening. I had a pretty busy day and I know I didn't show you much of it. The highlight of the day was my walk into a few Italian stores. I went to an Italian market. It was so nice. I saw so many foods that I used to buy when I was in Italy. And so it was really cool just to go in there and see the different types of foods they had. They had fresh foods and they had, packaged foods. And it was the packaged foods that made me remember my time in Italy. And then I went to the wine store, of course. I got a bottle of wine and I need to get this place spick and span and prepared. And I did. And that was the other thing I did today. I mopped this floor. I mopped another floor. I organized a little bit so the movers have places to put all the boxes. I have to do a little bit tomorrow, like I have to deflate my air mattress and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm ready. And then unfortunately this afternoon, my medical appointment took over 2 hours and that ate up most of my afternoon. So I didn't really have time to do anything. But this evening, I'm gonna write. I'm gonna write it's almost 7. I'll probably write for about 1.5 to 2 hours. And then I'm gonna stop because I do have to do a little bit more to prepare for the movers. But I wanna get a nice chunk of time in because I don't think the last 2 days I've really gotten a nice chunk of time in to write. And I need it. I will start here, may end up on the mattress just to like change my sitting position. I'm excited to have some dedicated time to write tonight. That's a wrap for tonight. I worked on my book for about an hour. I finished with 730 words written tonight. That's really great. I spent a little bit of time brainstorming tonight. Actually, it was not what I intended to do, but I was at a point in the story where I needed to plan some stuff out. And as I was planning it out, I discovered a plot hole that kind of invalidated the whole thing. So I kind of went back to the beginning, not the beginning, but like the beginning of this thing that's happening. And I said, how can I change that to where it makes sense and I don't have a plot hole? This is one thing that has frustrated me with my writing. And it's not really something I can control right now or that I know how to fix. But as I write, I find plot holes. And then I don't think there's a way to fix it except for rewriting that scene or changing something earlier in the novel. And that's kind of what happened in this situation. I was like, oh, where I'm going doesn't make sense. There's a plot hole. And the only way I see to fix it is to kind of change what had happened before. And I don't want to go back into this habit of going back and changing things all the time. So I just kind of stopped and said, all right, I literally wrote changing course in my story and started from where I thought made sense. And I'll just have to fix that when I do the second draft. I just hope that as I go into future revisions, I find less and less plot holes, or I figure out how to fix them in a way that doesn't require me to rewrite large chunks of my book. But anyway, that is gonna be all the writing I do for tonight. I need to get ready for the movers just a little bit. I have a few more things left to do, and I have to wake up early tomorrow. I need to go to the grocery store before the movers come, and they're coming quite early in the morning. It's gonna be an early morning for me. I don't prefer them, but you know, sometimes it is what it is. I had a nice few days living my full-time author life. We'll see how long that can continue. That's always the question, right? But I did enjoy it. I was very productive over the weekend. I worked on ballet. I worked on my book. I got ready for the movers. That was probably the biggest accomplishment. And I'm ready for my furniture to come tomorrow. I can't wait for that. But that's gonna be it for tonight, and I'll see you in the next vlog.